Remember the feeling? Now relive the magic with 100% pure soul on the new 1600 WWRL. In a bold and historical move, America's premier urban radio station makes it possible for New Yorkers to relive the magic.
Reliving the magic in a very special way, as it being Legacy Day, and we're sitting here talking with some legends of WWRL. I'm Crystal Holmes, and this is Serenade for the City. A little different twist to it, as we got some great legends from the past, the people that made it here at WWRL. We have Frankie Crocker in the studio, who has been talking with us for a while, and Bob Law is in there. And eating? Are you in there? Is that you eating? Oh, okay.
Al Granum's in here, too.
Who is that?
Al Granum.
Hi, Al. How are you?
Pretty good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much.
Good.
I'm going to see you people, okay? Be good. Good
All
to
right,
see you,
now,
Al.
Frankie Crocker.
Lots of
All
love.
right.
Okay?
Thank you.
Al, stay well. God bless.
Thanks. What is your name?
What is my name? I already told him. Crystal Holmes.
Crystal Holmes.
With Serenade for the City.
There
A
you
special
go.
edition of it.
Yeah. And this is the special edition.
A new twist to it.
We're going to talk with one of the radio legends again
I
in a
can't
moment.
leave. I got to say hello.
Got to say hello.
Let me say hello.
All right, we're going to do that. Al Granum, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Good to have you with us. There was somebody who called earlier. Somebody asked about you on the internet with Frank, but somebody called here earlier today also and asked, where is Al Granum? And so we told him to keep listening because you would come in and explain where you are, where you've been.
Well, I got off from work at 6 o'clock this morning. I went in and took a little nap and turned you guys on, and I was trying to reach OJ and just couldn't get through. But here I am.
All of New York City is trying to get through.
You know, following this gentleman here is a very tough act. Beyond a shadow of doubt.
Oh, man, come on.
Yeah.
You ain't saying nothing but the truth.
718-899-7711. The conversation lines are open, and you'll be able to say hello to all of our guests, everybody who is going to be coming by and spending some time with us this afternoon as we talk about radio legends. And we talk about people who had a brand and a trademark that became etched into the annals of radio history. Anytime you talk about legends, you have to talk about this brother who was on the air. I don't know, he might have been on the air in 2 stations at the same time, but I know he
Probably
is
3 or 4.
3 or 4 stations
Hey,
at one
Mr.
time.
Henderson?
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Henderson?
Hey, fella.
Frankie Crocker.
Oh, my man. How you doing, Frankie?
All right, how are you?
Good, man.
You know, someone was calling Mr. Crocker before. I said, please call me Frankie, because that's what you did when I used to call you Mr. Henderson. Just call me Jaco.
Well, you see, we go back a long ways, Frankie.
How are you, brother?
Doing just fine, thank God.
You sound just as good as ever. Al Granum is here in the studio with Bob.
Okay.
Have fun, man. It's good to talk to you, and I'll see you again.
It's all.
Okay.
Now, you're living in New York.
Enjoy your time. Yes, I am. Just outside of New York.
I'm going to get the phone number from Bob,
Do that.
and I'm going to call you. I'm going to come have lunch with you.
Be a pleasure.
You're important in my life, sir.
Come on up to the farm.
Okay, buddy.
All right.
All right, now, again, Frankie, thank you so much for being with us.
It's my pleasure, Bob.
All right.
Thank you.
Al Granum is in the studio with us. The nickname was Granulated. Tell me the nickname.
That was Eddie O.J.'s brainchild. I started at, shall we say, The Enemy, a station across town, and I was a newsman, and Eddie could not remember my name in the mornings for nothing, but he wanted me to be his newsman because I started basically something new over there. Nobody ever touched on sports because I'm quite a fight fan. And I did box for quite some time, amateur-wise, for years in New York. So I used to go to the fights and come back with interviews from the greats and go to ball games and so forth. And Eddie loved this, but he could not remember my name, so he called me Granulated to keep it in line.
So Al Granulated Granum is with us right now, as is one of the true legends in radio, Jaco. And Jaco, it is our pleasure to have you with us. I want to talk a little bit about just your own recollections about radio and how that all got started. Now, the concept you had for your radio show was a rocket ship.
Right.
How did that come about?
Well, I borrowed that from a good friend in Baltimore named Hot Rod. I liked the way he sounded in Baltimore, you know? So I just took the rocket ship, asked Hot Rod's permission. He said, my pleasure, Doc. And used it in Philadelphia first, then in New York City.
Now, you know, Frankie Crocker did his opening and close. Hank Spann did his opening and close. Now, you have one of the legendary openings and closes, and you had a number of things that you would do during the show as well. You would introduce songs in talking about the artist. I just remember one that you would do when you introduced a song by Laverne Baker. But you had a lot that you would do. You did Laverne Baker, and you said, this is Laverne Baker, the hit maker, the record breaker, the money taker.
You got it.
Yeah, but there are a number of things that you did like that. I want to talk a little bit.
Well, I tried to rhyme up all the artists' names. Like if you had a record, Ooh Papa Dob, here's my man Bob.
There you go.
You know?
And when you came on the air with the Rocket Ship Show, how did that go?
Well, we had the sound of a rocket, of course. And, what did I say, way up here in the stratosphere, gotta holler mighty loud and clear. To the jock. Oh, to the jock. And I'm back on the scene with the record machine saying, Ooh Papa, how do you do? Fly around New York, New Jersey with the rocket. In fact, we had a rocket. The guys at the Apollo Theater made a rocket for me on the second show, and that was in 1953. They made this rocket, and I had to get up on a ladder to get in it. The rocket was held up with piano wires. And I got into the rocket, and when it hits the stage, that's when the smoke's supposed to come up, the lights flash, the whole thing, right? I got up in the cockpit of this homemade rocket, and it came floating down to the middle of the stage and threw me out of there. Almost landed in the floor.
Yeah.
Anyway, what the people thought that was part of the act, and they just left.
That wasn't something that you could leave in the act, though, was it?
No.
We're going to let people say hello to Jaco. The legendary Jaco is on your phone at 718-899-7711. You can call us right now. The conversation lines are open, and I want to give you a chance to say hello to Jaco. Hello.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Hi, this is Lady J from Harlem, West 119th Street.
Yes.
And I wanted to say, Jaco, I love you.
I love you, too.
I love you, darling. I miss you so much. Al Granum, I still have tapes of your shows.
Yes,
and I wanted to know where you are, where Jaco is, and I wanted to know, nobody has mentioned Jack Walker, the pear shape.
Yes, we did.
My friend.
You did?
Yes, we did it with Eddie O.J. In fact, it was one of the answers to one of our trivia questions.
Oh, I must have been in the bathtub.
Who was known as the pear-shaped talker?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I want to know what's happening with Al and Jaco, and I'll call you later to find out where I can reach them.
Now, Lee, we're getting ready to bring up a show through New York City.
Oh, okay.
Likely at Madison Square Garden. That'll be within a couple of months. Look out for it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Love you all.
Okay, now.
Bye-bye.
All right. We've got the radio legends on the air with us. Jaco is on your phone. If you want to say hello to Jaco. You know, Jaco, we talk often about what you would say, and that whole, the rhyming and the rhythm and the diddly-yock, ho, this is the job. Anybody who wants to be a disc jockey begins by practicing on diddly-yock, ho, this is the job. And I don't know if everybody knows it. You're still doing that with an educational program.
Oh, man, bigger than ever. Unbelievable.
Now, also joining us in the studio, MLTEP, Gary Bird, in the house. Frankie talked about he would go in the studio with his show and turn the lights out. And he was in the same room you were in. He lit candles, had incense burning. And while he was talking about that, I remember going in the studio when you were on the air. Initially, it was when you were doing overnight.
The all-night show. Yeah.
And had the lights out. For you, it was more like Jaco, more like a rocket ship concept.
Well, that's because I grew up on Jaco. Once again, it's rocket ship time, and those who are not aboard must be out of their mind. The Rocketeers are lined up side by side, are ready to take a most exciting ride from the Earth to the moon. You've got to go with your rocket ship commander, Jaco, back on the scene with the wrecker machine. Correct time now is 3:17.
My man.
All right.
You know what that means?
The jock.
Let's talk about some radio.
Yes, that's right. That's it.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I actually, said I was going to experience this all the way. I actually took the train out and I actually walked here from 61st Street.
Yeah.
I said, I just want to feel this for this day,
Yeah.
So I'm in a nice mood, bro. I have some great memories.
Bird used to take the train because I would tease him about that he would turn cars over. Had a van, turned the van over. We say in order to guarantee that Bird is going to show up for work, don't let him drive.
It's serious. It's serious.
How you doing, Gary?
I'm good, Jaco. How you feeling?
Glad to hear from you, man.
And the same, always. I mean, in terms of where this, I mean, it's such a great thing, OJ, Jaco. These really are, I mean, the pioneers, not only in New York and RL, but for black radio, period. If you look at the history of what we practice today as broadcasters, these are the pioneer broadcasters of our industry. And for me, I'll never forget, OJ was the first black man that I ever heard speak on the radio. I never heard of, yeah, that's right. In Buffalo, we had, General Market Radio. I never heard a black man talk on the radio before. So for me, I mean, that was like a revolutionary idea. The black man speaking on the radio. And when I got in broadcasting, I had an idea that I wanted to do something a little bit more entertaining than just the regular jock stuff, and I stumbled onto a tape in the back room of Jaco Henderson, the Rocket Ship Show. I have to this day always had that locked in my mind because it was the transition moment for me of what you could do with this medium. And Jaco, I think if you look at who he is and who OJ is, the fact that they can actually do what they do even today is a testimony, I think, to the great talent that they brought to this industry.
I just thought of something, and I'm wondering if Jaco remembers this. One of his main lines was, "Be sure to tell him Jaco said."
Right.
Yes, that's right.
Now, if my memory serves me correctly, it might have been a Bush sponsor. And it cracked up everybody. We were sitting on the stoop at night, and Jaco came on and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I don't feel too good tonight because earlier today, a gentleman was caught in Bush Jewelers hiding behind a counter with a bag of diamonds. And when the security guards grabbed him, he jumped up and said, Jaco sent me." And Jaco said over the radio,
I never got a diamond.
"I've got to go to court to testify that I did not send this man."
Isn't that something?
Now you talk about Bush Jewelers, Bird.
Oh, boy, please.
That brings back a
Oh, man. When he said Bush, I was like, Bush. Bush Jewelers, sponsors of the all-night show.
Isn't that something?
Yeah,
Well,
man.
you want to hear something funny? In Philadelphia, when I was still just joined the Philadelphia show at WHAT, a robber went into Continental Bank. If you know Philadelphia, it's on Chestnut and 12th Street. Actually robbed the bank by himself, shot in the ceiling when he got the money and said, Jaco sent me. I never got a dime of that.
Never got any of his money. Jaco is with us. Jaco is at 718-899-7711. Al Granum is in the house. Gary Bird is with us. And if you want to say hello, it is WWRL's Legacy Day. And we're going to give away some more music packs.
These are the CDs that you're paying us with today, right?
Yes.
Okay.
As a matter of fact.
I was just checking.
You know, I was surprised to find, I was talking to Frankie and everybody and Eddie OJ, and they were talking about one of the reasons that they wanted to do this when they were real young is because they saw these guys who were working for only 4 hours a day. Oh, I didn't know that they paid y'all to do this. To come and play records for 4 hours. That's like if you can open up a little kind of an amusement park and you charge somebody $3 to get in the booth, and you can play music and make a tape. But y'all get paid.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, and somebody told me y'all get paid big money.
Somebody lied to you.
Yes. Oh, somebody lied.
Somebody lied.
I wanted to call the boss here. I said, I didn't know they got paid to do this. But it is certainly our pleasure. We had some radio trivia. Somebody guessed correctly where the Dixie Drifter was from Hertford, North Carolina. You know, and we would ask people questions like, who was the person who said E Diddy Ock? And who was the person who said, put your foot on the rock? You know? And so people were able to correctly identify each of those personalities. So we were going to try to come up with some newer, maybe a little bit harder trivia questions.
Well, I mean, you got to ask somebody who was the Devilish Angel. You got to,
Let's do that one right now. Let's do that one right now. First caller from anywhere who can tell us who was the radio personality known as the Devilish Angel. So call me at 718-899-7711. Do you know who the Devilish Angel was? Or you can call and say hello to Gary Bird, Al Granum, and the legendary Jaco. Hello, you're on the air.
Yes, I'd like to talk to Jaco Henderson.
He's on your phone.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Fine. How you doing?
Okay, what I'd like to tell you, this is a long story, but I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible. Right? I'm glad I got the opportunity to talk to you. You were an inspiration to me when I was about 8 years old. I used to live in New York City.
Young enough.
And my mother used to tell me to go in the room and be quiet because I used to emulate you on the radio. Right? Right now, at this time right now, I'm 44 years old. I've been in radio about 18 years. And I just wanted to have the opportunity to tell you thank you very much for the inspiration. Because I remembered you from so long ago. Throughout my entire radio career and growing up in school and all of that, never got the opportunity to talk to you.
Yeah,
I spoke to Hank Spann about a month ago, and I told him there's one thing I want to do in my radio career is talk to you, because I'd like to thank you very much for giving me the inspiration at such a young age, and I thank you for just being a part of my life at such a young age, and made me realize the field and career that I wanted to get into. So I'd just like to send a shout out to you, Jaco, man. I love you very much. You don't know, it goes way back.
Now, are you in New York City?
Am I in New York?
Yeah.
Right now, bro, I'm working at WJTT in Chattanooga, Tennessee. My name is Elmo James. They call me EJ.
Okay.
I've been in Morning Man for about 4 years, but I've been around, you know. Radio market is really unstable now. You know,
that is true.
You don't know where you're going to wind up next. But I've been down here for about 4 years now.
You know, I'm bringing the show through New York City in a couple of months. I thought maybe you were there.
Oh, yeah?
You're the kind of guy I just want to meet.
Yeah.
I want to hug you.
I would really love that.
Listening.
I would love that a lot.
Yeah.
All right, now, I thank you for your call.
All right, thank you very much.
All right. Hello, you're on the air.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
Good.
All right, Bob. It's Joel Franco.
Hey, Joe Franco.
Long time no here.
Yeah. You're guaranteed to win this music.
Please.
You have to know the Devilish Angel.
Gary, how are you? It was Jeffrey Troy.
There you go.
Of course.
The Devilish Angel, Jeffrey Troy, indeed.
Yeah.
We got to, hold on now, we got to pick up the phone.
Okay.
And get your address so we can send you this legacy music pack.
All right.
All right?
Have a good day.
All right.
Man, that's an RL junkie, as they used to say, right?
You know what I mean?
I'm serious.
Indeed.
Boy, that's amazing.
Going back a little bit. One more phone call. Hello.
Hello.
Come on.
Speak to Jaco.
Jaco's on your phone.
Yeah. Jaco.
Hey,
How you doing, buddy?
what's your first name?
Richie.
Oh, Papa Ditchy, my man Richie. Okay.
All right, Jack. I'm
got
from
you covered.
Astoria, Queens. Grew up with you, pal.
How about
Listen, any way of obtaining any of your past radio broadcasts?
Any of your past radio broadcasts, you have anything like that? Is that on tape anywhere?
No, I don't.
Nothing, Jack.
I've asked him this question about 25 times because that's hard for me to believe
I
it.
have some, but
But nothing's out there for the public.
Yeah.
yeah, you know, all I have.
Oh, Jack, you bring back so many memories, especially the harp tones. When I think of you, I think of the harp tones.
Oh, yes.
You know, Willie Winfield and the guys.
Right.
And
My
they're
boy.
still singing, doing good.
They're my guys.
And I want to thank you, Jack, for all the great memories.
All right, now, thank you for your call.
All right,
Yes,
Jack.
thanks very much.
All
Thank
right.
you. Let me say this, will you?
Okay.
I had the pleasure of talking to Benny King today.
Oh, okay.
I had the pleasure of putting Benny King on the first show that he did as a single. It was my show. And from there on in, said Benny how grateful he was that he went on about his business, and he's doing extremely well now. I also talked to Ronnie Evans. This is the guy who was the dancer to end all dancers on the rocket ship show on television. And I also say hello to Shirley, the lead singer with the Shirelles. So I had a good day today.
All right. And it's our pleasure to have you with us on the phone right now. And, you know, I got to tell some of the stories that people may not tell. Earlier today, we talked about the television shows, and Jaco might have, I think you had maybe the first nationally broadcast television show, black hosted television show. And we talked about Jerry Bledsoe had a show. Frankie Crocker had a television show. But one of the things that is interesting for people to know, Jerry Bledsoe did indeed have a television show, but it was Gary Bird who conceived it. And it was on the air, and then Bird said, Yeah, but I don't want to do this every day. I don't want to do the show and call this friend, Jerry Bledsoe, say, how would you like to have a television show? What's he going to say? No? But that show, Soul Alive, that was Bird's conception.
But I mean, if you flip back, it was Jerry who came to New York before I did, and who reached back and actually let them know what I was doing for me to come to New York. So it's all,
That's right.
you know, it's quid pro quo. We pay each other back. Yeah.
And I think that, and Bledsoe, of course, did Soul.
The Soul TV show.
He did Soul.
And I did Soul as well.
Yeah.
I was the announcer for Soul before him.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
Following in his footsteps.
Yeah,
Good,
that's right.
good.
Yeah.
Sounds coming to get me a TV show.
Yo, man, what's up, man? You know, a little later. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
We got some other folks who are on the line. You want to say hello to Jaco. You want to say hello to Al Granum, Gary Bird. They're on your phone at 718-899-7711. Al Granum is with us. Gary Bird is here. Jaco is on your phone at 718-899-7711. We had a contest where we asked who was known as the Devilish Angel. And through the magic of radio, the Devilish Angel is in the house. Just appears. That's what they call the magic of radio. Say hello.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Hey, this is the best thing going. This is the best thing going. I mean, to see all my old buddies that I haven't seen in a while is enough. But to hear the voices of a radio station that became an institution, not only in this country, but in the world, is just a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
And I'm just glad to be here.
These are the people who made it the institution, as a matter of fact. You can say hello, one at 718-899-7711. Hello, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi. I'd like Gary Bird to take us inside the GBE with a little rhyming.
Inside the GBE with a little rhyme. Does anything come to mind immediately?
Well, you know, usually when I rhyme, brother, there's records playing. So
we gotta play a record.
Find some music.
All right. So where are you calling from? What borough?
I'm calling from Bell Harbor, Queens.
From Bell Harbor, Queens.
And I'm a blue-eyed soul brother. I want you to know you got plenty of us out in the audience.
Okay.
Love you and long-time listeners.
All right.
You just keep listening. We're going to get some music up so Bird can do that for you.
Thanks. And if you have a DJ by the name of Bob T.
Yes, there was Bob T.
Okay, and maybe you'd be kind enough, Bob, to give the time breaks and which DJs did which time slots during the week.
Okay, maybe we can do that. Bird can help me with that.
That's a serious fan there. Yeah. Bob T was actually the all-night show.
He was the all-night show?
Yeah, that's years before. Actually, that's years before Jeff and myself, actually.
Right.
Because you came in and I think began to split duties with Bob, right?
Well, I came in June of '67, and at that time, Bob was the engineer, actually. I don't know if you realize it. Bob T was the station engineer, who also doubled as a DJ.
Right.
And he would fill in where they needed him. But he was kind of like a do-everything kind of a guy.
Yeah. Well, keep listening, all right?
Okay, lots of good luck.
All right, now, we're going to take you inside the GBE.
Let me just say something about what Jeff is saying. Now, the only reason that I know some of this, now, you remember that in terms of the new signal, you guys got, what, 25,000 watts. Y'all popping it live now. But years ago when RL, you know, was the 5,000 watt station and you couldn't get it sometimes around the block.
That's right.
I was picking up Wwrl in my bedroom in Buffalo, New York every night, 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Well, wait a minute. Stop. We're going to try to put this together for you. While you were in Buffalo doing what you were doing, I was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, doing the same thing. Me and Al G.
And picking up RL.
Yes, it came in at night only.
At night.
And it was like 20 minutes after 12 o'clock. I don't know what would happen electronically or cosmically, but if you had your radio set at 1600, there wouldn't be anything there but at 12 o'clock. But at 12:20, bam!
It would come in.
Here comes the most rocking, outrageous sounding radio station that just had everybody talking about. Because me and LG, we used to hang out and run across each other going home. Hey, you gonna listen to RL tonight, Al? Yeah. Well, hey, come on, let's listen to it now. Turn it on, we'd sit there and listen. I said, boy, I want to go there someday.
That's right.
Yeah,
I want to go there.
It hit us all the same way. And I mean, in Buffalo, we had an even different kind of legacy pattern going because we had OJ come to WWRL. Okay. Then we had Frankie Crocker, again from Buffalo, come to WWRL. Then we had Jerry Bledsoe from Buffalo come to WWRL. Then I came to WWRL. Don Early Allen came to WWRL. Jay DeBard came to and Darcel Holloway. We had 8 jocks
That's right.
from Buffalo.
That's right. That's because each other was gearing on each other.
Yes.
But I fit into the equation too. I'll tell you why. From the Pittsburgh connection, I don't know if you're aware of it, but the 2 stations was owned.
WCUM?
No. WAMO.
Okay,
Whammo was owned by the same.
Broadcasting.
There you go. Was owned by the same people who owned WUFO.
That's true.
Okay. Sonny Jim Kelsey, whose name has been brought up quite a few times throughout the day, came from Pittsburgh, went to WUFO, then to New York, then to OL.
Yes.
In D.C. Okay. So I was triggered by Sonny Jim Kelsey. Okay. And then Frankie came through from WUFO to Pittsburgh.
That's right. Brief layover.
There you go. There you go.
New York.
I heard about this young guy. Now I'm in my beginning days of radio, and I heard about this young guy with a Corvette.
Yeah.
You know, talking all the fast talk, and I'm saying, and I heard him one day, and they told me he went to New York, and I said, well, hey, if I'm going anywhere in this business, I got to go to New York. WWRL. That's the only place where I want to work. I set my sights for New York. Came in 1967. I had 6 months experience, true radio experience, because I was a part-timer back in Pittsburgh. I was just working Saturdays and Sundays. So if you add it up all the time, 6 months. They thought I was in radio for 5 years, you know. So I got the job here, man, and the rest is history.
Now, a quick story. When he got the job, I had been offered the job in junior high school. I came here as a junior in high school, canceled my junior prom, took a flight to New York City. Rocky G sat in the studio and said to me, so what are you doing here, youngster? I said, well, I'm a DJ. And he says, well, you 17 years old. How you going to be a DJ? Open up the microphone. I introduced a record. Fred Barr came in from next door, offered me a job on the spot. My grandmother said, you will never go to New York at 17 years old because they'll ship you back in a box. I could not take the job, and later I found out they hired Jeffrey Troy from Pittsburgh.
Jaco. I have Jaco with me?
Yeah.
Okay, we kind of moved the lines around a little bit, had to find him again. And before we go back to the music, we talk about some of the people who are making radio, who've made radio history, some of the people who are legends. And Jaco, I wanted you to just recall some of those people. Somebody mentioned earlier while Eddie O.J. was here, the Magnificent Montague.
Yes, absolutely.
But Jaco, who else? Who are some of the people that you would enshrine in the Disc Jockey Hall of Fame?
Well, a lot of the guys I'm thinking about, unfortunately, are not here now. But Raymond Bruce, remember him?
Yeah, I am the Bruce.
Yeah. Tommy Smalls.
Absolutely, Dr. Jive.
Yes, fantastic DJ. No question about it. Now, how about Little Lord Fauntleroy? Are you familiar? John Bandy was his real name. Little Lord Fauntleroy was on WUST in Washington.
Yeah.
He came into Philadelphia to WDAS. And he went over big. He could rhyme everything. He went over real big.
With the British brew.
Yes.
The British brew.
Yes.
Rhyming was a part of it.
Oh, that was part of the whole equation.
Right. Then there was Chuck Richards in Baltimore. Chuck Richards was the first disc jockey I ever met. WBAL. Had the city locked up at night. They all listened to Chuck. No question about it.
There's some people come to mind for you.
Well, he named a lot of the key people, and Jim just mentioned Sonny Jim Kelsey. But I think when we talk about jocks, two jocks who maybe definitely deserve, I think, a bit more blow up, and they were just mentioned, Magnificent Montague and Dr. Jive, Tommy Smalls. I think if one is going to tell a story of black radio, you've got to really talk about the fact that at one point Tommy Smalls and Jaco, you know this because you were doing pretty much the same thing. We're both rivaling. In this instance, it would have been Alan Freed. And ultimately Dick Clark in terms of the size of shows and just on terms of strength of personality. Tommy Smalls and this other guy were going head-to-head at one point on the live show tip. And Tommy was winning a lot of times, as a matter of fact.
I want to give everybody who's on the phones, everybody's on the phone, I want to give you a chance to say hello to Imhotep, Gary Bird. Do the whole thing. Imhotep. Gary Bird. I'll give you a chance to do all of that in a minute. Stay close to your radio.
It's the all-new 1600 WWRL.
We're back with you inside of the well, we're not inside the GBE. I was ready to.
It's like
don't get me started, man. Don't get me started.
Well, we're back with you on the original.
Well, let me just lead in this though with a story. One night it's about 12:20 in the morning, and I'm talking about this amazing record record by Curtis Mayfield, which we could not play because it was on an album. And, you know, we were playing singles and not album cuts. And I was telling the audience about this particular track, and so I read the words to the track. And the brother called up and said, yo, man, Santa, did you write that? And I said, no, brother, I was explaining that Curtis Mayfield wrote the song. And he says, you didn't write it? Oh, man. And clicked the phone. Now, when they clicked the phone on me like that, you know, I went out the next day and I said, this guy, like, I couldn't write that. And I had, you know, never written a song or anything like that. So I went and wrote this thing called Every Brother Ain't a Brother, which basically said it's time for us to face the truth and level with each other. It's time for us to face the fact that every brother ain't a brother. There are some who say to the world at large, I'm no color, I'm just a man. And some who say to the folks uptown, black power is not their pan. But through it all, we kid ourselves and fool one another by failing to see the simple fact that every brother ain't a brother. Is the cat a brother who shoots a brother and thinks that makes him bad? Is the cat a brother who says he's black because it's now the fad? We're at the point in the world today for self-evaluation just to find out where we really are in this racially torn up nation. And one of the first things we must do is stop kidding one another and get on the case of realizing every brother ain't a brother. Now, I said that every brother ain't a brother, and I know you know that's true. But look in the mirror carefully, because that brother could be you. Choice of Colors, the classic from Curtis Mayfield on WWRL, Pure Soul, on your dial.
If you had a choice. Inside the GBE.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He launched my career.
Yeah.
With that song, he really did.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Now, I like to tell people that was the first rap.
It sure was.
That every brother ain't a brother.
Yeah, it was.
Same rhythm, music, all of that.
Yeah, to the beat of the meters.
Yeah.
Sissy Strut.
Is that right?
That's what it was, yeah.
I didn't even know that. We got Sissy Strutted.
Oh, I know. Oh, look at my sister's on the case, too, boy. She pulls it right up, huh?
We can do it again.
Just like that, right? Yeah.
You want to say hello to Jaco? He's with us only for a few more minutes. He's on your phone at 718-899-7711.
Quick note, though. You know what? You need to ask Jaco about what happened when they sent the first manned flight to the moon. And they had this whole thing where Jaco wound up getting tied into that. Jaco, can you tell that story?
Yeah, well, that's when the Russian astronauts went up for the very first time. And the program director at my station here in Philadelphia sent a telegram to the Space Museum in Russia saying, congratulations, now I'm not up here by myself. Signed, Jaco Henderson, American rocket ship commander. That is still in the front door of the museum in Russia. They blew it up 100 times.
Is that right?
So, right. So there it is.
There it is.
Jaco, in space history.
I'm trying to tell you, but it's real.
Yeah.
That's the real deal, yeah.
Eat in the yak for real.
Yeah.
But Jaco used to say, higher, higher, big bad rocket. Jaco, you say that.
Kick this big bad motorcycle. Kick it. Kick it up higher. 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 And that's when the rocket was going up with the big sound.
Uh-huh.
And then we'd come in and way up here in the stratosphere. Got it. Out loud and clear. Eat it, Jock. Oh, this is Jock in the Mexico scene with the wrecking machine. You, Papa June, say, how do you do?
The legendary Jaco is on your phone.
Oh, man, I'm telling you.
718-899-7711. Hello, you're on the air.
Yes, I want to speak to Jaco.
Okay.
Oh, hi, Jaco. My name is Mary Butler. Back then, well, I used to know you back in 1956 or 57 when you had a TV show in Newark.
Yes.
You remember that? I haven't heard anybody mention about the TV show. It was such a good show. It was similar to American Man's Fair.
Sure was, that's right.
And I used to rush home from school every day to try to get on.
Yeah.
Used to wait outside, rain or shine. We'd be outside waiting.
Isn't that fabulous?
And I got on a few times.
What's your first name?
My name is Mary.
Mary?
Back then it was Mary Graham.
Sweet girl named Mary. Okay, honey.
Okay, I just want to say hi to you.
All right, now, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Mary.
Hello, you're on the air.
Oh, hi, let me turn the radio down. I just want to say thanks for the memories. Wow, this is really terrific. You guys did much more than just spin records. Reese Beach, Bay 5, there used to be a club on 92nd and Broadway called The Cellar.
Oh, man, yeah.
And the Cheetah downtown.
Oh, goodness.
Good Lord. Whatever happened to Symphony Sid? I remember him from the radio.
He passed.
He passed away a few years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we talked to him on Night Talk, I think.
Yeah, you had him on. That's right, yeah.
About a few months before he passed. but he was the he played what did he play?
Jazz.
He played
jazz, yeah.
Yeah, he played jazz. Yeah, people used to call him up and request a doo-wop song. And he would say, "Are you crazy? Rita, over here you gotta ask for Horace Silver." But it was, Symphony said, didn't he do his show from the window at the Colony Record Shop?
I know it was a live broadcast.
Live broadcast from the window of a record shop on Broadway.
I think that's right.
I believe it was Colony Records.
You sure it wasn't Birdland?
There was a radio station in Jersey, I think, and Hal Jackson used to play music from Palisades Amusement Park on Saturday.
That would have been WNJR.
Right.
And let's maybe point out something. It can be confusing sometimes to go back through this broadcast history because Jaco, Hal Jackson, and the others worked on more than one station at the same time.
Right.
And Jaco, maybe that's something that people, can't really necessarily imagine now. Can you explain that a bit?
Well, I started first in Baltimore. I moved into Philadelphia, WHAT, and then to WDAS. And one of the people who owns a station here in Philadelphia heard me on the radio. And the Dolly Banks of WHAT called me in, said, "You want a job?" Well, I figured that Philadelphia was twice the size of Baltimore. So maybe the peyote, who I didn't know anything about, would be twice as much. Speaking frankly, okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, peyote is still out there now in every business there is.
That's true.
Yes, absolutely.
And always will be.
And it's legal in every other business.
Right, exactly.
Right. So I went to WHAT, moved from there in 6 weeks to WDAS, who gave me a pretty good deal. And as far as disc jockeys making a lot of money, that did not happen.
Mm-mm. Which is why you needed more than one station a lot of times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the fellow owns WLIB, Novak.
Yes.
Called me one day. Said, "How would you like to work the New York show New York show in the morning in WLIB?" And I said, "Well, New York is about 5 times Philadelphia. You go in a hurry." Anyway, we did that show for a while. Then we went over to WADO and started doing shows out of the Apollo Theater. And I don't regret anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
I'll take it all over again, just like it was.
All right.
Fabulous.
All right, now, thank you for your call.
Okay, may I just say one more thing? Are there any tapes from that TV show that used to be on?
Huh?
Are there any tapes from the TV show?
No.
You had the
Believe it or
Shirelles
not,
on one.
I had 2 tapes, and I sent them to a magazine in New York City. They wanted to do a story on it. They lost the tapes. And a whole lot of pictures. I had pictures with Sam Cooke. Can't get those anymore. Marvin Gaye. Anyway, they blew the whole thing. They did pay me for it. They compensated me for it. But never what it's worth.
Yeah. All right, I thank you for calling. Hello, you're on the air.
Hi, this is for Jaco.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, hey, Jaco, how you doing? I met you a few years ago in the 60s. And I was going to school at that time in Auto Body and Fender. And I came you told me to come up to the parlor and get an autographed picture of the Shirelles. And everybody looked at me funny because I was in my work clothes. And you said, "Hey, don't worry about the brother." I told the brother to come up and get the picture. And I just want to let the world know that you're a great humanitarian.
Oh, man. What's your first name?
Good work. And
what's your first
Bob Law, I met you Sunday at the Gospel Fest up at Grant's Tomb.
Yes, sir.
And you signed a poster for me. And I want to thank you for that, too. And you're one of the beautiful brothers also. But a lot of people should start realizing, what great roles you guys played in everybody's lives, especially today's and stuff like that.
All right.
And just keep up the good work.
All right, I thank you for calling Night Talk.
Thanks for calling, buddy.
That night at the Apollo, when I came in, you made my day and a lot of guys that were working with me day. So it goes to show you that you can't judge a book by the cover, and no matter what clothes you wear, there's always a beautiful person under it. And you brought out a great point in my life also.
All right, I appreciate you calling. I'm still doing Night Talk.
Yeah, I can tell.
I'm going to give out the 800 number in a minute. 718-899-7711. Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good.
Okay. My name's Charlie. I'm out of Harlem. We talk about going back to old days. I remember as a youngster, we used to break our neck trying to get home at 3:05 to 5:30 to listen to Dr. Jive.
Yeah.
Would you indulge me for a minute? Just a minute. I could never forget when they say, This was before Tommy Small. He said, now, guys and gals, we bring to you old Dr. Jive and his record review. Lots of laughs, music and jive make you glad that you were alive. When the discs begin to play, we want you to swing and sway. Stomp your feet and have some fun. Stay in the groove till the show is done. Good afternoon, this is Phil Gordon, your very own.
Oh, Phil good.
Okay?
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, and then it went to Tommy Small.
Yeah.
And then I used to listen to the Soul Brothers all the time, you know, and they used to, where's the Soul Train going to stop at? Brooklyn, Queens, you know, and you had to call in and guess where they would stop, and you get a ticket to someplace, wherever it was, you know, and which one of the Soul Brothers' names is going to stop on. It's good to hear you guys again. It's good to hear from some of the old guys, you know. We got so much. I remember Alma John, and I met her several times before she passed. It's just the memories. All of my friends that I had back in them days are passed now. So I'm just here, and I listen to you every day. And
you listen to WWRL every day?
Every day.
Keep listening and tell somebody.
It's set on my radio in the house, and it's set on my radio in the car.
All right, I've got to move.
Okay,
all right,
so it's good to hear everybody. Jaco and everybody. All right, Frankie Crocker and Jeffrey Troy, I'm glad that they're still around.
All right, again, thank you for calling RL. RL Legacy Day, and the legends are here in the house, as they say. And Jaco Henderson, legend indeed. Jaco, we want to thank you for spending this afternoon with WWRL.
My pleasure.
Being back here with us on the air in New York City. We want to do it again. We want to stay in touch with you.
You know, I'd like to do a couple-hour show 1 week.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
I'd like you to do that, too.
Don't need the money for it. Just, I get kicks behind it. I've enjoyed the profession so much. I can do without the money, okay?
Okay.
So we'll talk about that.
Oh, absolutely. After you said that, it's done. say what day? You want to do Saturday? What?
Yeah.
You say when?
Hey, I'll be in touch with you.
All right.
And we'll get it together, okay?
All right.
We look for that, Jock.
All right.
And to all the listeners, thank you. Hope to see you in person soon.
Now, you're going to be in New York City soon with the show.
We're going to have a show in New York City.
We know where? Where's it going to be?
Oh, I'll let you know everything.
Okay.
Oh, by all means.
All right.
Okay?
All right now.
Okay.
Jaco,
Talk to
live in person on WWRL.
Relive the magic.
You're listening to Pure Soul 1600 WWRL. This is Imhotep Gary Bird with Bob Lowe. We're kicking it live on Legends Day in New York City.
You can join us at 718-899-7711. Hello, you're on the air.
Yes, this brings back many memories. First, I remember when in Hotep first started the GBE. He was one of the first to introduce me as a person to, let's say, nutritional foods. The doctor was named Dr. Fulton from Chicago.
That's
Remember
absolutely right. Dr. Albina Fulton, that's right.
Hello.
Yeah.
And from that time to this time, I'm still using the same program that she has.
And that, by the way, we should mention, is the person who actually introduced Dick Gregory to the whole nutrition piece.
That's right. Because I use some of his also. Second, I remember Al Granulated Granum from his the Judge's Funky theme. Does he remember that?
Yes, I do. You got to say it in here.
And then
yes, I do.
Right up to the I used to hear you in two places. I was working on the West Coast, and I was working in New York, and I used to catch you both times. It was always a lucky thing to catch you at each time. And every time I heard you, I said, this man is everywhere like I am. I said, I hear him in New York, I hear him on the coast, and everything. Third, I remember, I go back a little further with Jaco. I met Jaco at a program in Atlanta, Georgia. This was 1949. He introduced a little singer by the name of Esther Phillips. When she introduced the Double Crossing Blues with Johnny Otis and the great Robbins.
All right, we've got to hurry. I appreciate you calling.
It's a pleasure.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right.
Bye.
Now, we've got a lot more. We've got kind of an RL reunion coming up right after tonight's Command performance. Remember the Command performance?
Do I remember the Command performance? All these concepts coming back in. Yeah. But I need to say something. Jeff Troy is the person who introduced me to the health field. Yeah, it was Jeff Troy.
Yeah,
it sure was.
Yeah,
that's right.
Centrifugal juicing.
Here we go.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I'm still doing it.
Isn't that something?
You know?
Yeah. That's right.
And it must work, because I've been told, I'm 55, and I've been told on a good day I could pass for 40.
On a good day.
On a good day, yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like I'm 25.
Yes.
And I act like I'm 13.
Here we go.
All of that will work.
There you go.
As Gary Bird say, it's all good.
It's all good.
There's right after the command performance, we do a kind of a Wwrl reunion. Jeff Troy is going to be here with us for that as well. Bobby J will be here. Enoch Hawthorne Gregory will be with us.
The Dixie Drift.
He might be on the phones.
Yeah.
Hank Spann comes back on the telephones as well. So everybody stay close to your radio. We've still got a lot more. We've got some music. We've got some memories as we relive the magic with 100% pure soul. Just before we break, we've got a music pack that we're giving away from. It's the Legacy Rhythm and Soul series. The Legacy packs include CDs by the OJs, by Aretha Franklin, by LaBelle, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, Billy Paul, the Manhattans, the Intruders, everybody, just everybody. Now, you had a question.
Yeah, we were trying to make the questions not too hard.
Not too hard.
Okay, but we talked about a soul legend. As a matter of fact, we were just discussing off the air. We have a soul legend who discovered Donny Hathaway. He was the first person to actually use Donny Hathaway as an arranger and actually opened the way for Donny's career. Hint would be that the person hailed from a place called the Windy City.
If you have the answer, call me at 718-899-7711 so we can give you one of the Legacy Rhythm and Soul music packs. Call me at 718-899-7711.
He is ever the master, but of course he owes a great deal of debt to the Dells. That is his own Teddy Pendergrass doing what he's got to do at 1600 pure soul, WWRL. I do work down the dial, don't I? This is Gary Bird, and of course it was Bob Law, and of course a great brother who just joins us this afternoon inside of our broadcast and our special Legends tribute. That is our brother, the master, Bobby J.
Thank you. Thank him, Hotep.
Yes.
How about you forget where you are now?
You know what I mean?
How many years? How many years you said 16?
You know it's
the
true.
big RL.
Lord,
It's a wonder he remembers where he is the rest of the time.
I'm trying to tell you.
Well, let me tell you something. I did what Gary did. I took the subway out here.
You did it, okay.
Deja vu.
Oh, it's deja vu.
I was calling out the subway stops before the conductor. How do I remember these subway stops? And I knew to get on the right car that as soon as the doors open, I walked right down the steps. It's frightening.
It's scary.
That's very frightening.
But there's the worst thing, Bob. Listen to this. They say at the station at 61st Street, it says, "Please pardon our appearance." But it looks exactly like it looked 20 years ago. Please pardon our appearance. What are we pardoning?
It's been a work in progress for so many years. Man, this is big fun.
Oh, man. Huge.
And I'm very upset. Man, I'm very upset because I, like you, I do all-night radio, and I've not been asleep. You know, you guys have kept me up from, I got home at about 5 o'clock, and I sat in the chair in the den, and then at 6 o'clock turned on the radio, and that's it.
Yeah.
I'm not, and I have to go back to work tonight.
Oh.
But I'll tell you something. This is special.
Yeah, reliving the magic.
This is really
Reliving the magic.
special.
Yeah.
You know, there will be no others.
No.
Like these soul brothers.
Yes, it's true.
It's true. Right. You can join us at 718-899-7711. You want to say hello, goodbye to Imhotep, Gary Bird. Bird's got to leave us in a minute. And so if you want to say hello, you can call right now, 718-899-7711. We've got a command performance that comes up, but that's in an hour from now. And right after the command performance, we really move into a kind of a RL segment. This has been a legacy day all day long, and we've talked with performers. Lloyd Price is going to join us as well.
Oh, that's
Lloyd Price will be here.
Personality.
Oh man!
As we move into the RL party, as Enoch Hawthorne Gregory is going to join us.
Man.
Jeff Troy, Bobby J. Whatever happened to Ray Goodman and Brown? They say they're on their way. They live way out in Jersey.
Way out.
Well, they moved further out.
Way out in Bergen County.
So they're going to join us. Chuck Jackson was here earlier today.
I heard Chuck.
And
Wrl and Rocky G.
Rocky G was here.
See,
Rocky G came in.
No, he was on the phone.
Oh, he's on the phone.
Yeah,
okay.
So that should have been some one of your trivia questions. You know, what did Rocky G call himself? Whirling Rocky G.
Well, I would have asked it in a minute then.
Okay, I got another one for you.
Okay, well, we need another one.
I got another one for you.
All right. Let me just do this. If you want to say hello to Gary Bird. Hello, you're on the air.
Like boom. What a day it's been to listen to you.
Like boom.
Like boom.
Like boom.
Sound like Dino.
Dino Wood, the Reverend.
That's it.
Dino Woodard.
Hey, Dino.
Yes, sir.
How are you, Dino?
Everything's good.
Dino, good to hear you, brother.
We had good times out here with Dino.
I know. Hey, man.
Back in the days of Coco Records.
The memories.
It's a wonder you could keep yourself from coming out here.
I'm telling you, I started to, but I had some things to do.
Yes.
I want to ask the question. What about Reggie LeVon? Anybody got in touch with him?
Well, Reggie's still in Philadelphia.
Right.
I don't even know if Reggie's doing radio anymore, but I know he's in Philadelphia.
He's not.
He does. He has a limousine service.
I know. I thought maybe y'all would touch base with him.
No, I don't think we've been able to contact him. But I asked somebody from the Philadelphia area not long ago about Reggie, and they said Reggie's doing fine. You know, you know, he's still the voice.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Like boom,
Dino. Like boom.
All right. Hello, you're on the air.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Bob Lord, good afternoon to you and Gary Bird.
Yes, good afternoon.
I remember seeing you at the Apollo dancing on the stage.
Yeah, you probably did.
Years ago, God, could you slide?
Yes.
Yes, going back years and with Jaco, and it's just good to be on the phone with you.
It's good to have you with us.
And just want to say I enjoyed you then, and I enjoy talking to you now. So y'all have a wonderful day. God bless you all. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for having this oldie on today.
All right.
Really was inspiring.
Quick Apollo story that'll give you some idea of the impact of where the station was at. When we launched, and Jeff was saying something that was important, that there was another guard that came in, which was launched with Jeffrey Troy and Jerry Bledsoe, myself, Bobby, and a host of us, right? The young Turks, so to speak, right? And when we did our shows at the Apollo, the first shows, I remember I pulled up in a limo. We all had our limos, right? So I pulled up in my limo, and when I got out, all the sisters said, "Oh!" like this, right? And so I just knew, hey, I was hooked. And they said, "Which one is you?"
But we
I mean, it didn't matter. It's like, because they all bad.
We played the Apollo every 6 weeks. We were in the Apollo Theater every 6 weeks. Now, when James Brown was there, would play the Apollo, we were the honorary Flames. Bobby Bird and them guys would sit down. And we would get up there. That's what that lady was probably alluding to. Because man, we used to get down, and when we'd be there with Wilson Pickett, we were the Midnight Movers.
Is that right? I want to see some of those moves.
Oh man, we were sharp. We were choreographed.
Is that right?
Yeah. Well, if you'll remember, when we came in at the beginning of the week to do our shows, we'd come in with suitcases of our clothes.
Of our changes.
That's right.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
That's right. It's true.
718-899-7711 is the phone number. We'll keep the conversation lines open as we continue on into the rest of the evening. It's RL Legacy Day, when the legends of radio are putting their magic back on the air one more time. Gary Bird's got to leave us. Imhotep, thank you so much.
Yes, sir, brother. Real pleasure, man. We have to do it again.
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah.
We're going to do it annually. Some people say I got a note here. Staff, people upstairs are having such a good time. They say, why don't we do this monthly? and wait, now you keep reading it, and it says, but what about weekly?
It's getting closer each week.
Pretty soon we're going to publish a list of the time slots.
Yeah, that's right.
With little pictures on the side. The RL
Soul
Brothers
16
and
survey.
Somebody had asked about time slots. Who would know? Somebody, there's a caller who asked
what do you
about...
want to know?
Remember, wasn't there a guy who called to ask if we could say what the time slots were?
Oh, yeah. Well, I remember the last time slots. It was Gregory in the morning, 5:30 to 9. I did 9 to noon. Jeffrey, you were noon.
12 to 3.
To 3. Jerry Bledsoe was 3 to 7. Hank Spann was 7 to 11.
There you go.
And Gary Bird was midnight to 6.
That's right.
What
All-night
happened
flight.
at 11?
At 11, we broke.
Yes.
We broke for...
Put your hand on the radio.
Reverend Ike.
Yes, sir.
On the radio.
Yes, sir.
Get a blessed handkerchief.
What was that guy out in Fresno? Brother Al.
Yes.
This is Brother Al.
Finally, we saw him in the newspaper.
Oh, yeah? With handcuffs?
I believe it was. Gary Bird, thank you for joining us.
A real pleasure, man.
Every day at sunset, listen to the music of rhythm and romance. No talk, just 100% pure soul music. Right here on 1600 WWRL. Relive the magic. Remember the feeling? Now relive the magic with 100% pure soul on the new 1600 Wwrl. In a bold and historical move, America's premier urban radio station makes it possible for New Yorkers to relive the magic with the launch of its 100% pure soul format. You've got to hear it to believe it. 1600 Wwrl will play the biggest hits from every major soul and R&B label, including Motown, Atlantic, Stax, Volt, King, Philadelphia International, and much, much more. So if you love the sweet sound of soul, but thought the glory days of this music were gone forever, here's the news you've been waiting for. 1600 Wwrl proudly announces 100% pure soul radio station, super serving the New York Metro.